Brunch with the boys, we the hottest. Brunch with the boys, we the hottest.
Yeah. What's going on? It's your boy King Des here. Another episode of Brunch with the Boys. I'm feeling fantastic this evening, even though these niggas was laughing at me earlier because I don't know when they're coming on the intro, but we're going to keep it moving. What's going on, fellas? How we doing?
Jeez, I'm good over here, man. What's good, Jen?
He is a petty ass nigga. But,
Petty,
that
by the
he
way.
brought that up.
Petty LaBelle.
petty Pendergrass down. Oh, man, no, but happy to be here. This is Gent. I'm out here. And I will tell you, we have a fantastic, electrifying guest today.
Cutty.
Yep, we talking about Passport Cutty. When you got a whole name and it sound like that tough. Yeah, she sound like one of Jeezy's friend for real. But Passport Cutty is an unfiltered social media sensation, multifaceted author and unconventional life coach, celebrated for her candid and entertaining takes on lifestyles and relationships. And Cutty, thank you for just joining us at Brunch.
Round of applause for Cutty.
Joining us
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I've been hunting you down for a little bit, Cutty. I've been hunting.
We've been trying to lock in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I see something that I feel like is gonna be right for the show, man, I gotta hunt. But
what did you first see?
I started seeing some of your videos, man. I'm like, we like tough A personality women on this podcast because there's a bunch of A types on this, and so we need someone who's gonna be able to challenge and be provocative with the group, real dynamic.
Provocative.
We want a certain dynamic, but I want to talk about your book, man. So Cutty got a book out called The M.
In Man is for Money.
Is for money. You see that?
You're going to have to explain it to me, too, because the title's kind of hurting my heart a little bit.
Yeah.
You
So,
know?
Cutty,
There's
give
more
us a
value
run
to a
through.
man than
Real
the money.
ratchet.
Give us a run through on that real quick.
Okay, so this book is a woman's guide on how to handle men and money and dating and relationships. It's basically me teaching women how to speak up about and have conversations with men surrounding money. It's not a gold digging manual like people perceive it to be.
Yeah, that's
just
how it came off to me.
Off of the title. But a lot of women have difficulty having conversations with men about their needs, their wants, or money specifically. So I break everything down and help them get more comfortable with being able to have those conversations with them.
That's interesting. I never thought that women struggle to talk to men about what they want, especially when it comes to money. In this day and age, it seems to be that's what they do quickly and easily. No?
I think that's confident.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot of the younger girls seem to have more confidence with doing it now that there's like so many songs and videos
and no home training,
like promoting like, oh, get money, get this guy for this or that. But women, I would say there's a certain type of woman, and more women than not do have a pride about like looking needy or asking for things. They're intimidated. They're scared. They don't want to hear no. They don't want to be rejected. They don't want, they think they care more about what the guy thinks about them instead of what they think about the guy. And that's like what I try to, install and program women to think about. I'm like, why you care what he think? He not caring what you think.
Yeah.
He's not
she
saying
better care.
like, huh?
It should it not be a balance? Shouldn't they both care about what each other thinks and wants?
Well, I look at it like this.
Talk to
A
me.
girl will say, I don't want him to think that I, don't have it or I need something if I ask. I'll give you an example so you could know that it's not as crazy as it sounds.
Okay.
Let's say a girl, a woman meets a guy and he's been coming over 3 nights a week to eat. A woman will call me because I do advice calls. She'll call me and say, I've been cooking for him 3 nights a week and he's never offered to buy any groceries or give any money towards the groceries. How do I get him to do that? And I don't even understand why she has an issue with doing that because it's not like she's asking him for a favor, right? But she's like, I don't want him to think that I can't buy groceries. And I'm like, so why he not thinking that? Why isn't he thinking about you thinking about him that he's a leeching cheap ass bastard? Like, why? Like, why?
I think I'm so old now because I hear you say that and I said, why are we even discussing this? If I have you cook for me 3 times this week, I probably brought, hey, bam, I'm going to, cash app you, transfer you some bread. And, you know what I mean? If you're doing for me on a regularity.
A lot of guys who aren't doing that.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm not even doing that though.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm not going that micro on it. I am going to. It's gonna work itself out. It's like, for instance, if you've cooked for me 3 times, okay, buy the fucking groceries and cook for me because you're doing something nice for me. Yeah. And guess what? I'm gonna surprise you in the next 2 or 3 times. I'm taking you out somewhere nice, or I'm doing something nice for you, and I'm not asking you for any money. So to me, it's like, damn. So when I take you out, after I buy 4 drinks, do you got to buy the next 4?
I agree,
like,
and the same thing. And like you said, take them out, do something nice. A lot of times, men, we pay for the dates. We pay for dinner every time. So if you're cooking and buying groceries, I'm still losing weight and paying way more than you are. Those groceries at Publix, they not running you like they are, in these restaurants, $30, $40 a plate. You know what I mean? Right. So that's what's up.
They kind of are though. Like, I don't know what. For me, okay, I've had this argument with guys before because if I go to get every ingredient that I need for a meal,
get pricey
for a guy. 9 times out of 10, the grocery bill is like $70 to $100. If I go to get 2 steaks from Whole Foods,
first of all, go to Sam's. Second of all, you didn't have onions and garlic at the house already. Some of these basic ingredients, scallion and thyme. Like,
no, but that. But listen, this grocery bill conversation, I will forever defend that because it is like a lot more.
It's a
money
trigger for you. I can see that. I can see that. I'm at the grocery store often, so.
I also don't want an equal situation, right? So you're like, oh, why are we being so petty about it? I spend this much at the restaurant, you can spend this much at the grocery. I don't want equal anyway, so I'm gonna have a problem with it.
So what do you want?
Explain that.
We're going down a different path. Go ahead.
70-30.
You want a 70-30 situation?
Oh yes, now I get
it. What is it all makes sense.
Yeah, now it makes sense.
I'm curious though. What is but see, I'm so curious. You know this was going to happen.
That's why the M is for money. She tried to shake that facts. Shit. We know what it's for.
What is
70-30?
For real. What does the 30 look like on your end?
Shit. 30 ain't shit.
30 ain't a lot, boy.
30 ain't like a lot. What the fuck is left over?
30 ain't a lot. But I'm curious, what does 30 look like? Yeah.
So in this book, it says that we pay on birthdays and breakfast, right? Yeah. It's a joke, kind of, right? Like,
and everyone knows breakfast is the cheapest meal. Am I lying?
Pancakes and eggs.
D, come on, D.
It's a joke, but not really, right? Or so I have like a little science to it, right? You can take me out 3 times, I'll pay the 4th. But if the second one is like tacos, I'll pay for that one because that's cheap too, right?
Oh my gosh. This is a calculated attack towards, contribution to the relationship.
I actually enjoy this conversation, and I think this shit is fire as fuck to have this conversation. But
I love playing that game with you. Yes, that's what you want to do? Yeah. But that 4th date, nigga, we going to Ruth Chris, we going to Capitol Grill. I'm about to make you pay on that 4th date.
Facts.
We going to balance it out.
That's fine because it won't fall like that. This is the thing. I'm going to choose the cheaper one before you even get a chance to. So if the cheaper one is like the second or third one, you're not going to expect me to pay the 4th one, even if it is.
Okay, one more question, then we're going to move on to the topic.
Okay.
Are you okay with a man taking you to Cheesecake Factory?
Oh, I love the Cheesecake Factory.
Well, then you all right with me, girl.
But real quick, I tell women when it comes to like stuff like that, I don't really mind where you take me. Well, kind of, but not really. But I said,
speak your truth.
For me, it's like, I don't mind where we go, but you're not going to get me at my best. Like, you're going to get me how I go to Cheesecake Factory, right? Like, you're not going to get me in heels. You're not going to get me in a full beat. Like, you took me somewhere regular, I'm going to come regular. Like, that's what it is. I'm not going to look like a bum, but that's...
We should get her here again.
No, we're gonna have to.
I'd love to go toe to toe for you on that.
I'm gonna read that book too.
I'd be in your ass and not in a good way.
Where can they find the book, Cutty? Because we're about to go buy it too. Okay, everything's on Amazon. Okay, got it. All right.
So Amazon, Audible, ebook, and hardcover.
We coming for them cheeks, Cutty.
Facts. And not in a good way. I don't know how to take that one. Anyways. So, despite what you always see in the movies, love does not conquer all. You often hear people when they're unhappy, but I love him though. You know what I mean? And I don't believe love is the barometer of whether or not you should stay in a relationship. So we want to discuss when love is not enough. And when these things come up, hey, I don't care that I love you. We got to keep moving. It's not enough. You know what I mean? Because as we all know, you can be in love with someone, you can love someone, but that's not a good reason to stay. So I want to get right into it. Mm-hmm. The first thing I want to do is talk about the past. Is someone's past something that can affect your relationship and end it? Say you get into a relationship with someone and you find out down the road. I'm going to throw a lot of scenarios today. I'm just keeping it real because that's the only way to really grasp it. Body count again. No, we're not body counting, although I love that topic. But say you find out your girl had a criminal record and you didn't know. Can that possibly affect your relationship in its current state?
Yeah, I'm going to take that first. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what it's for. Yeah. Depends on what it's for. Yeah, I mean, like, listen,
what if it was armed robbery?
I need to know the circumstances.
Damn, right. that's we can work past armed robbery.
I'm gonna tell you what.
You can work past armed.
No,
listen.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I got a cousin of mine who I grew up with, younger cousin, great young man, great kid. Didn't have much. My uncle's kid, and my uncle wasn't the dad. He had about 12 kids, and his mama wasn't shit, right? So when he was in high school, he used to rob strippers.
Wow.
When they came up, because strippers carry cash.
Facts.
Right? So he never shot nobody, never beat him up, but he would come out, pull the pistol. And the pistol was never loaded, right?
Yeah.
But he pulled a pistol. He say, put your back on the ground and walk away. Or I'm going to beat the shot of you.
Yeah.
They would be like, you don't know. Right?
So you're saying you can still be a good person.
So my point is, that's when he was 17, 18 years old. Now he 30 something. Yeah. And he got a job, he got a girl. So you know what I mean? So yeah, for sure. For sure.
Cutty, can women see past the criminal history?
A lot of women do, but the same answer as him. I do think that it matters because I don't want to be with a killer.
Yeah.
Right? Like you could have been a drug dealer, you could have stole some stuff.
But he's real gentle with you though. He's real gentle with you.
As long as you do what he say, he'll never kill you.
I don't want to be with a killer. I don't want to be with people who kill people.
You're going to be what we tell you to be.
Or else he going to kill you.
Exactly.
All right, so let me give you another example. We're going to keep these scenarios coming, Cutty. So what if you're with your man and you're with him for a year or two and a woman shows up to the door and says, this is your son, 2 years old, 1 year old, and hey, I never told you about it, and here it is. Would this end your relationship even though it happened before you?
No, probably.
So not. Love is enough then. You can love him through that.
Yeah. It ain't about. I didn't say I was staying with him out of love.
Okay.
I said that might not be a deal breaker. All the other factors matter because, like, if let's say we were together for just love, right, and he wasn't really taking care of everything that I would have liked him to take care of, and then this kid pops up, and now you gotta take your little bit of nothing that you got and split it with it. Nah, I'm out, right?
Yeah.
But if it's one of those situations where it's not really gonna make a dent in our household or our lifestyle, whatever, and you just gotta be, a father to this kid, then all right.
You're kind of making my point for me. For you, love is not enough. Because if in a many instances, that man's going to have to pay child support now. He's going to have to take a DNA test, and his finances are going to change. That means eating at Capitol Grill on a Tuesday. That's going to stop. You know what I mean? It's going to be tacos. And we know how you feel about tacos.
Right. If that affects me, then I'm gone.
Mm-hmm. But that's what a lot of mothers, a lot of our mothers and grandmothers have endured too. I mean, listen, like I say this shit all the time, and I said on previous podcasts, everybody think their granddaddy was just the best man ever.
Yeah, he wasn't.
The nigga had 2 families.
Yeah, at least.
At least.
Woo.
And your mama knew it, and his other family knew it, and never the two shall meet, right? But he was a good granddaddy to you.
I heard my mom say to me recently, the only time she saw her father come to visit, her mom would end up pregnant 2-3 weeks later.
Oh,
who said this?
My mom. About her father and my grandfather. So anytime he visited grandma leaving pregnant. You get what I'm saying?
That's the only time.
That's the only time.
Jesus.
Yeah, niggas, I love, and he was a great grandfather to us.
He was decent,
but
man.
he wasn't shit
you
to her.
You said great and you said decent. So
Yeah.
well,
yeah, but to me, well, I say great because it was financial. You know, this
was a
nigga,
financial-
he wasn't visiting and talking to you. You know,
Yeah.
these niggas was different. They didn't ask about your life. He wasn't coming to soccer
Correct.
They
games.
were like, you got McDonald's money,
Yeah,
Grandpa?
yeah. I need some new
Yeah.
shoes type situation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, this one we all can answer on. What about past sexual orientation? What if you get with a girl, Jen, and you find out she used to be lesbian, but now she switched, and we gonna get to you, Cutty, if your nigga used to be gay, if he come back the other way.
Is love enough in that
Yeah,
situation?
can you get past her sexual, or knowing that pussy was her first preference and your dick is second choice?
Well, first and foremost, if you're gonna frame it up like that, it's just gonna sound horrible. But
She giving dick a try now.
I'm finna pull the page.
there's a piece of me that really doesn't care, and love would be enough. And then there's another side of me that says, you know what, dog, what season is she in?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know, spring, summer, fall are we back on pussy season?
Yeah.
Because now, you know, that if it's gonna be like that, man, you just don't know where you stand, right?
Yeah.
So there's a piece on that, but if you have some deep enough conversation, you could put that to bed. I'm not gonna drive that insecurity all the way where it needs to go, but
What about you, Dad?
Hell no, I don't care, man.
Yeah.
Like if
I
she
don't
with
care
me
either.
now, then she with me now. So
Yeah.
the fact that you know how many niggas out here with a girl, the baby mama, they wife, they fiance,
Yeah.
and she didn't fuck with bitches before?
yeah. I mean,
I would love it.
2024, so that's not a big thing at all. No,
I'd
that wouldn't
love
matter
it,
at all.
and I hope she shares stories with me on a regular
I
basis
know
while
you
we
do.
drink on a weekend at dinner.
but I feel like it'll be different on the other side. Cuddy,
Can't do
what's your
Yeah,
feeling,
Cuddy, talk to us.
Well, I'm different from a lot of most women would say hell no, but I do
Oh
have
shit, Cuddy.
I
Go ahead.
do. Now I never
Okay.
experienced this before, but I've been asked this so many times that I already have my answer, right? First and foremost, if somebody tried it one time and didn't like it, then I could get past it. If it was a long time ago, if it was something like recent,
2 weeks ago.
then no, not 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
because now, and this is why I say that, because I've had sexual encounters with girls, but I don't like girls, right?
Yeah.
But I did try it again to see if I just didn't like it that first time. So if he did it 2 weeks ago,
How many times did you try
I
it?
might do it again.
Did you try it more than twice?
What you like best, Cuddy? The cheeks
No,
on
I-
the girl or the titties? I'm just curious. Tell me the cheeks.
But on a girl,
Yeah, the ass.
like I like women's bodies, but I don't like women.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. I've heard that
that's
a lot,
the
actually.
So you sexist.
What you don't like about them, though, is dealing with them emotionally. Is that correct, or is it something physical as well?
Well, first of all, a woman said to me before we did something, and then she texted me and was like, "I want some pussy," and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!"
You didn't
whoa.
appreciate
I
that
could
aggression?
not- I could not.
That just turned me on though.
take
Me
that
too.
from a woman. I was like, "You want some pussy? What the hell?" Like, it was crazy. Right?
What you want her to say?
Yeah, what would have been a better
Nothing.
approach?
Let's not talk. I don't want to talk.
Oh, so you want a don't ask, don't tell situation. You want to act like you don't eat the pussy, but you do. Okay.
I want to not
Live your.
speak.
You gotta
Ever
live your
again.
freeness.
You trying to live in her truth?
Yeah,
No,
living the truth.
I didn't. But so like that was a long time ago, and
we know.
so if it was a guy like, and he did it a long time
Yeah.
ago, and you know he never did it again, and he was like,
What?
"Listen,
How
I
many
tried it."
times is enough to forgive? What if he only had 2 or 3 sexual relationships with men? You know, and
No,
He said- what if he
encounters,
said-
not relationships.
no, he was in a relationship.
What if he?
No,
What
I
if?
can't do a relationship.
You can't do a relationship.
No. He
If
was
he
in.
was in a relationship with a guy, that's totally different. I don't.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead, Des. You think you wanna?
Nah, man. You know, if that was my daughter, it couldn't happen. Because what I would, boy, let me tell you, oof, that's tough.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. 'Cause
that
I'm gonna
might be
say
safe.
something that's
That might be safe.
Yeah.
That might be safe.
Respect to all.
All right, let's talk about trust a little bit. Obviously, the cheating thing, and we have to touch on it mildly. Is love enough to get over cheating? And I'm going to ask the
I've
fellas
forgiven
too.
Not for me.
I've forgiven for cheating 1,000 times. I won't again though. But I won't again.
What's changed now
Yeah,
that
1,000
why you would
versus
say that?
1,001. Tell us why you
For
gotta
real,
try it.
1,000.
So as I got older, once I started doing more relationship coaching and therapy, and just grew up, I just realized how much of a choice cheating is. So I don't want to hear any more about like, oh, men are not monogamous by design, and like, oh, men like variety and blah blah blah. That's all fine. That's not up for debate. I really don't care if it's true or not. It's still a choice whether you decide to do it, because women still have that choice too. Once I was in a situation where I realized that this is the crossroad right here, where I have to decide whether I'm going to have my own integrity, maintain my own integrity and not mess around on somebody who didn't do anything to me. Like I always say, I don't cheat. I never cheated first, and I never would. And I always joke and be like, you're not a cheater if you don't cheat first, right? And you're not a cheater if you cheat first, right?
Yeah.
So,
and it's not cheating if you get head, but go ahead.
The minute that you decide to do it, especially to somebody that you don't know who did something to you, you're a piece of shit. So that's why I can't forgive it now, because you're gonna be faced with it, but you still decided to do it, so now I don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say this. I think so no, I would never forgive cheating. I also think that men versus women is different. And here's what I'm just making a general argument. I'm not putting. Listen, I'm just gonna keep it objective. Psychologically and physiologically and biologically,
all the biologies.
Yeah, all of them. Men have a predisposition. The way that men are made in the world, males are made in the world versus females. Females are made to be incubators and caregivers and caretakers. Men are meant to procreate. That's why a woman can only be pregnant by one man at a time, yet a man can impregnate multiple women at a time. That's because biologically and fundamentally, that's the man's responsibility, and that is the male's, in any species, the male's function. I'm not saying that as higher beings, human beings don't have the mental capacity to say this isn't the right thing for my relationship. Yeah. I'm not making that argument. But what I'm saying is I think it's disingenuous to assert that there isn't a difference between men and women, and it's just as easy for me as a woman to say no that it should be just as easy for men. I don't think women and men are built the same. So I don't think it's as easy, and I don't think men and women are wired the same. That's just my 2 cents.
It's not about easy, it's about the choice.
Yeah.
Nobody said the choice was easy.
I agree, and I would argue that, and maybe you'd agree, Cutty, it's a more difficult temptation for a man than it seems to be for most women. Making. Yeah.
But I would argue, and I would also argue that being fat is a choice, right? Yeah. Yet the vast majority of Americans are overweight, right? It's a choice for you to eat cakes and cookies and not exercise, right? Yeah. Because that's the easy thing to do. You don't have to be that way. Yeah. So yes, I think if we all did what we were supposed to, everybody would be fit in monogamous relationships and marriages that lasted 50 years. Yeah. But that's not how the world works.
Yeah, it's a lot of messy.
And that's why they got to deal with the consequences of being fat.
Yeah.
Same way you got to deal with the consequences of being a cheater.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I agree. Listen, I prefaced my statement by saying I wouldn't forgive a cheater.
Yeah.
So it might be a bit contradictory.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
You think you could?
I think I could.
I've done it before, but I know I couldn't do it again.
It just depends on what level we vibrating on. Like, how much do I really love her? Like, how much do I care about her? How important is she in my life? Like, there's a level to this shit. Like, if it's someone where I'm just kind of like okay-ish with, like, then I probably wouldn't have that feeling.
You don't think you'll get over it or forgive her now, but weeks and months down the road, you'll have these flashes that's like, well, I can't believe I'm doing this.
I never said it was going to be complicated free. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't going to be any complications. But if I'm being honest with myself, I think I can do it once.
Let me ask you a question. So your ability to is one thing. My question to you is why? And let me ask you a question. I know the type of person you are, right? So I know that you give. You're just my homeboy, and you're very hospitable. You're very thoughtful, right? So I can only imagine how you are with your woman, right? And I've seen that, right? When you've had women, you've been in relationships. So I know how that works for you. I know that you're giving what you need to give in that relationship. So in that situation, you know that, okay, I'm giving. I'm present. I'm here for her.
You probably were so attentive.
Right. I'm open sexually.
Where did this open up? Where did this opportunity?
So my point is that for her to be like, I just want to let you know this this nigga, and I'm
you
being
find
crass,
out
right, but
whatever,
this nigga's dicking me down, and like you have,
and you've
like,
been a great guy,
right,
Yeah.
like, so why would
you get
accept
past that?
It is very, all this stuff is very situational first and foremost. So it's not a clean cut to say we're talking about do I have the capability of, depending on the situation. I agree with you. Like if I'm on my P's and Q's and this is happening, then there's no good reason. But if I know that I'm not, then
then that's different. Though I've forgiven it once, and I did it when I was younger, and when I found out, I was hurt, but I was also hitting a few hoes on the side. So when I first found out, I was like, "Hey, we just trying to survive out here." You know what I mean? Like she doing her thing, she just trying to make it. Let's work it out. Let's tighten up. Now that I know it's a competitive market, on both ends. Now let's really do this. But then she cheated again, and I had to get out of that. But
do you think your ability to forgive has decreased or increased with your age?
Oh, it's definitely decreased. My patience is very, very low. And because I know it is a competitive market and there are many options available to a high valued man. I hate that word, but I like to use it. I know I want to fuck with it. But because I know that for real, I know that I don't have to take less than I want in a moment, and know that if I'm patient, I'm probably going to get a better opportunity.
Yeah, but I also think that there's another look at it from a trust standpoint. When I'm thinking about trust, I'm kind of thinking about, can I trust this person with my mental state? Can I trust this person to be a partner and a business partner? Can I trust this person to feed my aspirations? Can I trust this person on a number of levels? And I will say, if I can't trust her to handle my feelings and all those other things, then love is sure as hell not enough.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Cutty?
For the trust aspect, as I got older, trust became such a high priority on the list. It never really was until I got older, and now the comfort that you feel in knowing that this person has integrity, you can trust them. If they don't answer the phone, your nervous system doesn't get affected. If you guys don't speak all day, because he's busy, you're busy, you don't think that anything is different, or they're out cheating, or vice versa, whatever. That
security, it sounds like, emotional security.
That was so comfortable that it was like, oh, for me to like really love somebody ever again, I have to make sure that I'm able to observe that, but also, knowing that they're not going to take advantage, knowing that they're not going to, it's not just about lying and stuff, but it is just so many things that fall under the trust.
I agree.
That trust is so important now. It never was until I understood it. And now that I understand it, it's like, oh yeah, I need to trust somebody like almost wholeheartedly for me to say that I really love them. Because before I used to say like, oh, I love this person so much, but I don't trust them. And now I'm questioning myself like, maybe you didn't really love that person.
How can one go without the other?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think you need to be able to trust people to do what they say they're going to do, Yes. And I think that's when I think about trust, I mean, can I rely on you to be a person of your word?
Mm-hmm.
I would argue, so I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I would argue that what DMX say, trust people to be who they are. Right?
Yeah, trust a snake to be a snake.
That's true.
Right. What you heard what he said, right? Trust a thief to be a thief, a snake to be a snake, a liar to be a liar, right? So trust people to be who they are. I think a lot of times in relationships and in friendships, we trust people to be who we want them to be and not who they've shown us to be.
Yeah.
And I think if you trust people to be who they've shown you they are,
then you won't be disappointed.
Bum.
I agree. I agree. We all know you're an asshole, Des. We just want to use this as an example, and we trust you to be an asshole consistently. And if you were ever anything different, we'd wonder if something was wrong. We'd be concerned because we don't know the other end of it.
I'm not an asshole. I'm a realist, and I'm direct.
Oh, that's what everevery asshole uses.
Yes, that's the asshole script right there. Yeah,
I'm a realist, guys.
That's the asshole script.
Hey, by the way, real quick before you move on,
Yeah.
Jet called me the other day because we got a group chat and we got some other people in the group chat, and Jet called me because he thought I went too hard on one of our homeboys, which I think it's all fun and game. It's all fun till niggas get sensitive.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's all fun games for
That's
you.
another thing that assholes do. They call
One side.
They do. That's true. That's true, Cutty. That's true. He was really. But that being said,
you saw the whole trail, and was I inappropriate?
You weren't, and more importantly, you didn't say
great.
anything that you hadn't said for a decade. You know what I mean? So he really, come on, man. So he shouldn't have been in his feelings whatsoever. I agree. I agree. One of the things I do think, that speaks to this topic well is shared responsibility.
Okay.
If love cannot supersede someone not keeping up their end of the bargain as far as household responsibilities.
Facts, for sure.
and the things that really help and keep your life running smoothly. You know what I mean? If the laundry always falls on you, man, I don't give a fuck that I love you, nigga. I'm tired of washing your drawers. If you have to always do the dishes, even though the other person cook, whatever the situation is, if everything relies on you to pay the bills, to keep everything in order, it can really, really put some stress on the relationship, and love can't get past that.
I would say as long as... Go ahead, Cuddy, you go.
I think it's a matter of being realistic and accepting what, the dynamic between you two is, because I've had a relationship where I knew he wasn't going to do nothing, but he wanted to pay for everything, right?
Oh, so 70-30 again, huh? We back at that
But-
70.
Defined
No,
roles.
it was even more
Defined
than
roles.
It
that,
is.
But my thing is this. I knew that he wasn't going to do the laundry. I knew he wasn't going to wash a dish. I knew that he wanted me to serve him his plate. I knew that he wanted me to cook. I knew that he wanted me to... So he paid, like he didn't pay.
He paid the cost.
Like he paid for that.
That's
he
me.
took up
I know.
the majority of the finances, and we didn't live together.
It's a good investment,
but he
too.
paid for stuff. He gave me money. He bought me gifts, all of that stuff. And that was the balance. I always say, like 180 pounds does not look the same on everybody. Somebody could be short and fat. Somebody could be tall and skinny.
Yes.
So, but I'm not
like that
going
answer.
to do I'm not going to accept that he's paying for all of this stuff and then complain that I'm doing all of these things when I know what it is. Like, I know why he's doing all of this. He doesn't want to do any of this work, That's what he is. And it's not, it wasn't even an agreement. It's an understanding.
Yeah.
Okay, and see, that is where I think the line gets blurred from understanding to actually having a conversation and setting some dang expectation. That understanding is assumed, right? And so I agree with the shared responsibility. I've been on a side where I think it was assumed that I didn't want you to help be a partner and help me out financially or help me do this or help me do that. And when it wasn't happening, then the frustration set in and it festers and it boils over and turns into something else where
Resentment.
I'm like, love is not enough here. But had I done a better job not assuming
communicating
and setting an expectation, drawing a line in the sand and standing firm in that on that line, I think it could have been a different outcome in regards to my feelings. So I just want to put that out there.
That brings up to me.
So you're saying you should have told her that you wanted her to contribute?
Yes.
You should have told her what was up. And I think love can't get past the lack of communication either.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing here too.
I would tell you, just in relationships I've had where that's become an issue, the one thing, y'all can call me asshole if y'all want to, but two things I feel like I'm very good at is being direct about how I feel and what I want, and I'm a good communicator. Yeah. So I'm not confusing or ambiguous about what I mean. I'm clear as fuck. Yeah. So I've always said, my friends on this, I don't do domestic shit. Yeah. That doesn't mean I'm too good for it. It's just not something I like to do. I don't like going grocery shopping. I don't like washing dishes. I don't like doing that. So I know a woman that doesn't like doing those things, and me ain't never going to work out. And that's fine, right? Yeah. Doesn't mean I got to do it. Just means I know that my match won't have a problem doing those things. But I don't have a problem. When it's time for shit to get paid, I don't ask no questions.
You have to.
How much this cost? Yeah, okay. You want to go on vacation? Okay. I want to get this. That's fine. Yeah. I don't. So we have a balance. Yeah. I am the financial provider. She is the domestic provider, and that is our ratio. Some couples, it's mixed up much more than that, and that's fine. Yeah. But for me, so I've had women comment on the podcast. Oh, well, he couldn't be with me because I would. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, I wouldn't be with you. Yeah, because we wouldn't mesh. The minute you told me, oh no, if any man be with me, gotta do this, I'd be like, oh yeah, we're not gonna mesh.
Yeah.
So that would have came out real early in the relationship.
Same with me and eating ass. Same with me and eating ass.
But you know what the problem?
Wow. One time for Jen.
Dishes and ass.
You know what the problem is? He can. Well, not a problem with him, but at least he can admit it, right?
Yeah.
But then you have men who feel that way, but then still tell you or ask you, what do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
And then when you say those things, they act like they don't have any value.
Yeah.
And it's like, how don't they have any value when you don't want to do them? So they clearly have value, you know? And
that's a good point.
Why the goalpost is like constantly moved around. So I always tell people, I always tell people, like, at least be honest about what it is that you do and don't want to do. And yes, some people do want to, you know, they want somebody to help them. Like, there's women who want men to do housework, mow the lawn. I was on my live the other day and somebody was like, oh, I hate that my husband only pays, you know, but he's not like mowing the lawn, but he'll pay to get the lawn. I'm like,
yeah, I'm that nigga too.
What are we talking?
When I started off early, I was cutting the lawn, and then I was like, man, I got a career, and I started paying somebody, and I'm not going out there. And when she said, you gonna pull weeds, I'm like, nah, but I have Jose pull those weeds for you. Just let me know where they at. Like, you know what I mean? So you have to pay for the things you want. Yeah. You know, that's what it really comes down to. All right. So you ever been with someone, fellas, that she just holds on to a grudge? Anything that goes wrong, you know, it just seems like she can't get over it, even though, you know what I mean, you're supposed to love each other, but she just always bringing it up. I hate passive aggression and all that type of shit. So you ever been with, I don't know that love can get past someone who is unable to forgive. Mm-hmm. You ever struggle with that?
I would tell you no, but not because I'm immune to it. We've talked about this as friends before, and I've talked about it on the podcast. I am very, very good and efficient at weeding out bitches early in the process that I know I'm not going to vibe with. And it doesn't mean there aren't great women. I just know I am very particular about certain. Y'all know me. Yeah. And y'all will say I'm picky. It hasn't, you know, in my life.
Being picky isn't bad either.
And it's more so about characteristics. For instance, I don't like a manly chick.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody that's argumentative. If you hold grudges, then we not gonna work, because I'm gonna say some shit to you and you gonna be mad at me, and I say shit all the time that's probably gonna make you mad, right? But I know me, right? Yeah. I'm a little sharp with the tongue, you know what I mean? So I know I'm gonna say something that's gonna piss her off. A girl that's gonna be with me is gonna be like, this nigga's get on my damn nerves, right? And then in a few minutes later, she gonna be good. If you're a person that's always gonna hold a grudge, you'll hate me, because you'll always be mad at me. So I know early
First
in the process,
48, I see a snap situations over there.
Correct. I know early in the process, okay, this isn't going to be the person for me, but maybe the person for Gent. And that's not a knock on Gent. I'm saying it because Gent's a lot more thoughtful about his communication style, and I'm not. Sometimes I'm rude.
You said what you said.
So that's the deal.
I'm rude.
Funny because women always say they want the blunt truth and just tell them, you know, but they really typically can't handle it. And if you really told a woman, it kills me when a woman says, just tell me how you really feel. Nah, bitch, if I told you how I feel,
that is a trap.
You'd kill yourself. If I told you how you feel, you'd go playing. You wouldn't be able to handle it.
That dress don't look right on you, and it never has. And every time you wear it, I hate it.
Come on, man.
AKA, you look beautiful.
Come on. I don't love the 12 back rolls in your back. I just rub on them because I ain't got nothing else to do. Like, if men really broke you down the way, and keep in mind, women break men down all the time.
Yeah.
Most women feel it's their job, if not their nature, to challenge a man. Yeah. So the irony that they can't be held to that same fire, man.
Cutty, do you agree with that? Because we got you on here.
So I 1000% can handle the truth, but I am different from a lot of women. Like, I teach women how to be able to, your feelings are hurt. It's okay. Right. Like you got stung. It's okay. Like, I teach, like, the second book that I wrote is called Mending Me. Right. And to your question, your original question, like, one of the chapters is titled, When You Forgive, You Have to Do Work Too. And I have to teach women that all the time, because
Me too.
They have to learn how to stop bringing things up, stop, using it to, in current, like, once the case is closed, the case is closed. But also, people get so nervous about like, oh, what about if it happens again? And I'm like, you're only responsible for when you cross that bridge. Like that's all. Like you trying to prevent it is just making this whole situation very tense and toxic, and it's annoying, right?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I personally do want the truth. I want you to tell me that you don't like my back rolls because I'm so lazy that I really don't want to work on these back rolls. But if I know that my relationship is, on the brinks of like being threatened, then that's gonna make me go. Because otherwise I might get a little lazy. I'm the type of person that needs like a hard, like I need to be
a hard push, tough love.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's real though. Real.
One of the things I wrote up here is personal growth. This kind of ties into it for me. I don't think I could deal with a woman, and I learned a lot of this later in life. I could have avoided a lot of situations. I can't take when you tell a woman the truth and you tell her what you want, you tell her what you expect, you communicate these things. These all things are tying together. They look you in the face and say, "I understand. I need to do better," and they pacify you and never change anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you can love someone and see that type of behavior and it can drive you crazy and you will not want to be with them.
Yeah. I speak to people every day who are women that never ever think that they're the issue, right? And they think that because they're not doing anything wrong, that they're doing everything right.
Come on with the
girl, you better stop.
Cutty, say that again.
Say that again, please. Slow it down.
Get the camera on. Say it again, Cutty. Slow for the ones in the back too. Go ahead.
Women seem to think that because they're not doing anything wrong, that they're doing everything right, and because they consider the wrong to be cheating, lying, being trifling,
major things,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of mini wrongs, and I always want to say what's right and wrong is independent of the person. What you view as right or wrong might not be right or wrong for me. You know what I mean? So you have to get that understanding from your man, your woman, etc., and say, hey, this is how I view it. So you may not view disrespect as this, but I view it this way. So if you do that, that's disrespectful to me.
I would tell you this, and we've talked about this. I'm making a generalization here. So for y'all getting these comments, just know I'm making a generalization, right? But the vast majority of women, I think, at least that I've come in contact with, not the other, freaking 3.5 billion of them, is that women don't shake something until they got to shake something. Yeah. And the prime example is what Cutty just talked about, right? There may be something that isn't really causing her any angst, right? She knows maybe a part of herself, either physically or mentally or emotionally, she needs to work on, but it's not really causing her any angst. But if her man says to her, yo, this is a problem for me, and if it continues to be a problem, this ain't going to work, not all of a sudden it's something that she focuses on, right? So I think a lot of times, for women, if the man isn't communicating properly, if she doesn't think that not doing this isn't going to impact the relationship, what's her motivation for doing it?
I think it's a weird way. It's like women invalidate a man's feelings and say, well, I don't think it's that important, so I'm not going to stress it. And it's not up to you.
But they also say things like, why do you need that? Right? So, let's say,
you've been in my life, Cutty. You've been all in my life.
So
okay, go ahead.
It's funny, I do couples calls as well. Women, when I'm on the phone with them and I'm telling them what they're doing wrong or how they handle something wrong in front of a man, they are ready to stone me. Yeah. They're like, whoa, because they can't
be on their side.
Yeah, they over there. Come on, sis.
That I am validating his point or getting her to see in front of him that she did handle something inappropriately or perceive something wrong or just did something wrong, And one thing that I always tell women when they call me because as soon as this happens, then they call me privately. Hey, what happened? Like,
I thought we had a plan.
Right.
I thought we had a plan.
Word.
What are we doing now?
Word.
And I always tell women, I will tell you what to do, and then you'll turn around and say, okay, I'm going to do it before we get off the phone. and then you'll call me a week later and then say nothing has
You
changed.
don't do it.
And then I'll say like, well, did you do this? And he'd be like, no, because this, or we got into an argument.
I have a
or
perfect
because
example of this. I have a homegirl, and I told, she was like, man, you know, my husband's not really connected. You know, he just seems to be disinterested and doesn't really want to, you know, have sex, etc.
Not fucking.
Man, they not fucking. I told her, I say, you know, get that nigga, you know, sit him down, get on your knees, suck him up, give him a hand job. But while you give him a hand job, like, speak positivity into his life, like, you know, man, you know, really big him up. And she said she did it. She said that week he did everything. He was cooking. He was helping with he was so motivated. And so a month or two later, she's like, man, I still ain't got no. I said, what happened to the plan? She said, I ain't did it since then. I gave you the blueprint. And you saw it worked. Right. You got the result you want, and you still chose to do opposite. And it's funny to me that inability to just maintain personal growth. And I keep having personal growth written here. There's so many ways, so many different things that even as we get older are things that didn't matter to us when we were younger. Now all of a sudden does. Maybe the religion. Maybe you found God later on in life, and the person you with is still a heathen, and you know what I mean. If you can't get on board, love can't supersede that. Fitness. We talked about weight. Maybe we never discussed weight loss or what weight and shape look like when we were early in the relationship. Now here we are, 5-10 years in. You're bigger than a baby whale, and I'm into fitness now. How can we work when we're not equally yoked about things that now matter to me that didn't? So personal growth can hurt you.
I think women, and I'm only speaking for the women in my life, right? But I have a daughter, and she's 14. And one thing that I've always taught my daughter is personal accountability. Even and I've talked to her. Listen, we know this. We're friends. We have real conversations with our kids. And I told her, I said, look, you're going to be in relationships where you're going to have to put forth some effort to be a good partner. You're going to do some things. You're going to have some missteps. And I said, I was about to say her name. And I told her, I said, baby, what men want to know is that you're willing to take accountability. Yeah. They don't expect you to be perfect.
Nope.
But if they call something out, they expect you to be like, you know what, sweetie?
I was wrong.
Absolutely right. And I did not handle that the right way, and I'm going to do better. And if you do better, I said most men, you get some hoe-ass niggas out there, but I don't think that's the kind you're going to choose. Yeah. So most men, that shit is water under the bridge.
Under the bridge.
If they brought it to your attention and you've made improvements, they're not women. Yeah. They'll never bring that shit up to you again. Yep. Right, because that's how men like to be handled. So I think it starts with parents, dads, and dads particularly, trying to educate their daughters. And I know for a fact you guys have those conversations.
I'm coaching my daughter hard on being a good wife.
I know you are.
Coaching her hard. You know.
How do you feel about that, Cutty?
Women are very self-centered.
Yes.
You know, they are.
Preach.
They think that their feelings are superior, especially because men don't want to act like they have feelings a lot of the time, and they don't want. And even when they share their thoughts, they don't make it as if it's a feeling. You know, they don't present it to us as if they care. It's like what they think. So we're like, I don't care what you think. But if we knew that it was hurting your feelings, maybe we'll feel bad about it. Because now
that's
we're
so weird. Because I do. I'm very feelings oriented. I'll be like, man, that hurt my feelings when you did that, girl. Yeah, I mean, I just keep it real. There's no purpose of me saying otherwise, because then I can't be mad if the result doesn't lean my way. You know what I mean? If I never speak up and say I like my balls licked, and then I can punish you and say, man, I cheated on you, or because the other hoe licked my balls. Well, I didn't know you liked your balls licked. Well, I told you. You know what I'm saying?
What's your sign?
What's my sign? Yeah. I'm an Aries.
Okay. What's everybody else's sign?
Sagittarius.
I'm a Leo.
Wait, who's who? Wait, what?
Sagittarius.
An Aries.
Oh, you're a Sagittarius. Oh, that's why you like cater to your women and stuff like that.
Yeah, see how she plotting on you right there? You see how she plotting on you?
This is No, I'm a Leo.
Y'all
sure.
one and the same, for sure.
I'm a Leo too.
Yeah, I know.
But we all fire signs, which is strange.
Listen, I don't know about that fire sign. I know how Leos are. I knew she was a Leo when she started talking. I ain't know
I always vibe with Leos too.
We are all our birth signs. That's for damn sure.
Vibe with Leos
it's
too.
Crazy. All of us are fire signs. That is wild.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Facts. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So what I want to get into next, as far as love not being enough, a lack of compatibility. Man, you can love someone so much, but the personality might not be compatible. You might not have similar interests, similar goals. Maybe you have a lot of ambition and they have a lack of drive, this could
And
be
how
another
the fuck did we get here? I just
good pussy, big titties, fat ass, pretty face.
Okay, so in our younger years,
I can list a lot of reasons why
in
you
our younger
overlook.
years, in our younger years, yeah.
I would argue grown men, and they're probably not getting into deep relationships, but it is easy to focus on surface things when they're super pleasing to the eye.
Ass and thighs.
Come on, man.
I love it.
And you hear men say all the time, I don't give a fuck what her career is. I don't give a fuck what her family situation is. I don't give a fuck because I am so happy with what I see. But oftentimes, maybe we don't dig deep enough. And I just think that lack of compatibility is a huge thing.
To your point, real quick,
Yeah.
you talk about we don't care. When I was younger in my 20s, I dated a girl who didn't have a job, was living with her mom. Her dad was a heroin addict, and we had to constantly go find this nigga and get him out the trap houses.
Solid relationship.
And she was beautiful.
Yeah, solid relationship.
Because and I would say to myself, my homeboy, I was in graduate school at the time. He'd be like, "Why are you dealing with this uncle like this? Like, what is she doing?" And I'm like, "She is fine." He's
fine
like,
as
"She's
hell.
fine, but bruh, she broke. She don't got no money like her dad. You pull him out."
I'm not broke.
Yeah, she don't.
We balance out.
No, that's what I told her. But my point is, as a nigga, if that was flipped, she would have never talked to my ass.
Never,
Okay?
never.
Facts.
So that's all.
Well, it's so funny that we make those blanket statements because women be dealing with the bummiest guys ever. Like,
y'all
so
act like y'all don't though.
Yeah.
If you hear
I
y'all tell a
know.
story, y'all act like you don't.
It's a show.
we sure do act like we don't. But
I've never asked a woman what her career is outside of other than the pleasantries, and I guess I'm supposed to. It never mattered to me.
Even
Like
when they volunteered, I'm like, okay, cool.
yeah. But it's never been like, hey, her answer better be right, or this date is over. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. Didn't factor into it.
That all boils down to like different men. There are some men who they really do care about what a woman does. Like it's important to them, right? But
really,
it's a business contract.
I don't blame them.
They have goals themselves,
I don't blame them.
And they want to make sure that whoever they're partnered with is aligned and can fuel those same aspirations.
I think that matters.
Or there's
now.
men who want to go 50-50 and make sure that you can afford it.
Yeah, I don't know them niggas. I think it matters as far as growth as a couple. I think, like, for instance, if I was in a situation at this point in my life where I was trying to find a partner, like what she did and what her financial situation was would matter.
It would
to me.
now.
Yeah, it would
for
matter to me.
sure.
20s though,
Facts. And this actually transitions well to how you view finances.
Wait.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to tell you something about compatibility.
Talk to me.
Because you guys were talking about another aspect of it.
Yeah.
For me, when I realized that compatibility was so important was when I realized that I needed a nice man, right? Like I didn't realize that I needed a nice man until I got with an asshole. And then I was like, oh, I don't like this. Like,
at one point, were you attracted to assholes?
I was never
We listening.
attracted.
Be careful. We listening.
Yeah.
I was never attracted to assholes, but I would deal with it because of all these other factors. But I was constantly like getting my feelings hurt. And when I say my feelings hurt, it would be like, sometimes it was tone, sometimes it was like their demeanor, sometimes I can't do moody guys, I can't do people who always like when they're mad or going through something, they want to be left alone, they don't want to talk for days. It's like I can't do that, right? And so I had to say to myself, I know that I cannot deal with a certain type of personality. There's some people like, oh, it's
That's
okay.
That's a good true thing, personality. I actually have lived that life for far too long. The personality things where you realize your personalities are so different. How can you really get along with them long term? You are always jovial. They are always bitter and seem to be angry and sad like they lost a puppy. So those differences in personalities, man, it can really change. Love, it's hard to use love to get past that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I want to talk about the finances because you guys kind of talked about it. What about your partner having a huge amount of debt and you ultimately inheriting it? And you're into the relationship now. It's time to talk about the finances. You're in love, but you find out your partner is $150,000 in debt.
Yeah.
Are you pursuing this relationship, or are we like, might need to pull back early?
Yeah, no. Her debt is, so I could be with her, but her debt is her debt. And
But if you were to ever marry her, it would be your debt too.
We don't get married to her debt is no longer.
Right.
And let me tell you, I know a guy who literally was with a woman, and they didn't get married for like 7 years until she rectified
No doubt.
the debt.
Has to happen.
And then it was cool because he changed her behaviors, and when they did get married, the behaviors continued because he was on that what's that Ramsey guy?
Gordon.
Not Gordon
No.
Ramsay.
Stupid.
That's
That's
the
chef. Yeah.
Oh, you talking about the money
but
man.
the financial Ramsey.
The finance.
This man said the chef.
And so they
I
were
love
on.
Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah,
Me
they
too.
were on that plan, and so they, the whole thing was like, how do I live without debt, right?
Yeah.
And so, sometimes it is important,
What,
especially.
what about how they view finances? Can you be with someone who's a spender if you're a saver?
I think people can adapt.
Yeah.
And I'm be interested to hear what Cutty says. I think people can adapt. I mean, I would tell you in one of my long-term relationship, I came in with some debt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she accepted me, and I thought she was crazy for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it ended up working out in her
Yeah.
favor. She invested in the nigga.
Yeah.
And them
But you do have to know.
goddamn dividends.
But you have to know when you see a good investment. All debt isn't bad debt. And if you were to meet a woman tomorrow and she was a surgeon and she was like, hey, but I'm $300K in the
Agreed.
Listen, in 6 years, that
Right.
$300K, that's $400K in the black. Like it's not gonna stay that way. So you do have to seek out a good investment when it comes to those situations.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Cutty?
Yeah, if we're not married, I really don't care about your debt.
Yeah.
Word,
and if
word.
we're not,
Keep that shit to yourself. Yeah.
yeah, if we're not getting married, I'm not gonna really ask about it.
Yeah.
But,
I don't care if your car getting repoed next week.
Damn.
Yeah,
Can't use
but
mine.
Yeah. Just can't use mine.
I gotta go to work.
Yeah. Good
your
luck.
debt
Uber.
has to be become a problem for me to care. And when I say a problem, it's like, okay, your debt is so bad you don't have no credit cards for us to go anywhere. I mean, for us to go.
Can't live off
on
credit though.
No, I mean for us
Yeah.
to go on vacation, you can't check in the hotel first. You don't have a credit card.
Try to rent a car and they got to put $200 on his debit card. Yeah, man.
That whole
Talking about they hold it.
That type of stuff.
I was gonna use that money on the trip, man. Does this sound like a dude in college? Because that's how I was living in college right there. But
No, but you know
remember
what?
we were
I
renting
did have-
under 25.
I did have a guy who was really bad with money, and it did affect things.
Yeah.
I was early 20s, but I remember thinking to myself, he would spend all his money and then the next day be depressed about it. And that was another way in which it really, we'll go out tonight and he'll buy everybody drinks and pay for the food and all of that stuff, and then tomorrow be crying. And
I only felt like that at KOD that one time, G.
Yeah, we spent a lot of money that night. We spent a lot of
sound like
money.
a nigga with bad financial
And
habits.
I will never forget that
Well, we
night.
were young.
And we overspent like a month, but it was worth it.
Y'all overspend at KOD?
Right, we talking about a G at least. Easy.
Y'all spend a G?
Maybe
I did 15 on that one. Yeah.
Maybe each.
What?
It was.
But y'all were
was that?
young.
Did I know y'all?
You did. You never
was
came
much-
with
yeah,
it.
we
It was
were
my
much
birthday. I
younger.
think I turned 30.
Y'all probably didn't invite me.
We did, but you know how you be
You know,
about
you
those
get-
trips.
you
Your
get
ass,
certain-
yeah,
you
you
get a
know,
certain way,
but
bro,
nigga, we going to
sometimes.
Miami. You know he always going till the day before, so you know how that nigga do. Oh, don't worry, it was enough ass for all of us.
Shit. It's probably because y'all wasn't going to Tootsie.
And dog, that was a good night too, because it was customer pussy. Remember when she came out the crowd, dog? Just somebody came to the strip club. She came out the crowd, no draws, climbed all the way to the pole.
DJ came up and said,
We got customer pussy on stage. And she climbed all the way to the top of the pole and dropped down to us. She had no drawers on and a short mini dress. Oh, man. One of the best nights of my life.
Changed my life.
Yeah, man. Every time I think of customer pussy, I
That's the
smile
only
cut
thing
in
I
my
think
face.
about, too. Yeah.
Facts. All right, so let's talk about addiction. What can love supersede substance abuse, gambling?
No.
And this one's big: social media and gaming. You know, everybody gaming, social media, scrolling. Addiction is a real thing with these things. You know, can you get past addiction?
I can't do addiction with drugs. I can't do addiction with sex. When I first met him, there was I met a guy, I don't know if it was on a dating app or something. It was a long time ago. He told me within the first conversation or the second conversation that he was a sex addict. I was like, wait,
he should have waited 5
gave you the dick first.
No.
Make you love it.
I just randomly asked him about therapy. I was like, oh, you ever been to therapy before? I don't know how we got there, but he was like, well, I wasn't gonna go here so fast, but like
he's trying to fuck.
Yeah.
He said I have I'm seeing somebody for this addiction or whatever. And then and I was like, so what is that? And he was like, I have to come 7 times a day.
Jeez.
And I was like,
7 times is extreme. 7 times.
That's why
I have a high sex drive. 7 times is extreme. But you know, it's funny. You said that he was trying to fuck. I beg to differ. If a woman hears a man has a sex drive, I imagine that's a turnoff. If a woman on a date told you she had a sex addict, you'd be like, ooh, we're going to explore this.
Here's the problem, though. You're assuming this nigga has good game.
Yeah.
Like what I'm telling you, there's a lot of niggas out here that's awkward as fuck, that don't know what to say to women. The problem is for us sometimes in these situations when we get examples like the one Cutty's giving us, we don't affiliate with that. We don't understand that because that's never some shit we would say. So we find a way to make it where like the nigga just ain't corny as fuck and that's some shit corny niggas
Well, let me ask you both this. If a woman tells you this on a date, maybe the 3rd date in, hey, I'm a sex addict recovering.
I can't fuck with her.
I'm not messing with her.
You can't do it.
No,
I know you
Wait,
couldn't.
why?
I'm not surprised by your answer, Jen.
Yeah, because she like to fuck, and if I'm not around, if I'm traveling, she still got to come. So nah.
Hey,
And that's the first thing
it was your brother's birthday, D, and you just took a day trip?
Dog, it was the
fuck 3 niggas?
first thing I thought, dog. I'd be like, man, I travel 60% of the time for work. Like, I live on a plane.
I can hear her talking about, I was honest with you from the first time I met you.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
bitch,
true.
and I appreciate it. You have a great one.
That's true. That's
you
true.
have a great one.
That's true. Would you hit it one time first before
Got to.
you? Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Because it's going to be easy.
Thank you. I was worried somebody's going to say no. Nah, I got to hit it, then I got to catch and release, nigga. Catch and release.
Jet not hitting.
Jet not hitting.
He might take on the trip, but he not hitting her.
I hate y'all. I fucking hate y'all.
Listen, social media as an addiction is real. People don't really talk about it, but it's ruining relationships and families. When you just can't get off your phone, that shit is real, man.
Facts.
That shit is real. People need to get up on that one. All right. This one, what about things that go beyond your control, like a death in the family or something like that? Is that something that could possibly, hurt the relationship and love can't get past?
I think it absolutely could. I had this conversation. I don't even want to get into depth, but we just talking about a friend of mine who had lost a loved one, and I was like, man, like I'm thinking, like with a parent or something like that, you are, and I'm thinking, my mom, like I'm not the same person after that, right? Can I move on in my life? I got to, right? Because I got kids and all that stuff, and I got people that depend on me, but I'm not the same person. And for the time right after that, I'm not the person who you was in a relationship with. You feel me? So I'm somewhere different, and I need her to be able to rock with me and get me through that point.
Yeah. I can't imagine like losing a child or anything like that. These type of things can really ruin a relationship, and to say I love you really wouldn't hold weight when you're so hurt and deep in grief,
I don't even watch movies anymore where little girls get kidnapped because I got a daughter. I don't even watch those movies.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cutty. My bad.
If on my behalf, I can manage like, tragic things really well. So I don't think that I would put somebody else through too much to have to like console me and be there for me.
Yeah.
But I also think that because I do it so well, I'm not the best at consoling.
Yeah.
And because my ass is up there trying to give you ways to get over it, and you may not want to get over it right now. You may feel like, and this happened to me in real life. Like my grandmother was the most important thing to me in my whole entire world.
All of us.
She took care of me from birth, and when she passed away, I had taken a break off of social media for a second. And then when I came back, a girl in the comments was like, Cutty, you need to get more serious about what you got going on. Like, you need to stop taking breaks. Like, where have you been? Now I hadn't posted that, I was going through this or whatever. So I was like, oh, sorry. I was only mourning the death of my grandmother.
Yeah.
And she said to me, oh, sorry. She said, sorry to hear that, but life goes on.
Oof,
right?
Boy.
Now, immediately the first reaction would be like, no, the fuck it doesn't go on. Are you crazy? That's my mother. Like going ham, right?
Yeah.
But then when it settles in, it's like,
kind of does.
Oh, snap. Life really does go on. Now that happened to me almost, what is this? So that happened 7 years ago, right? And from that point forward, literally that is the answer to everything for me, because it's true. Life does go on. Like, what can I do? Right.
Yeah.
And it has helped me cope so well to the point where I feel like I can handle anything now. I mean, of course, there's way more things, God forbid, to happen that you may not know how to handle. But especially death, I feel like I do know how to handle it well now. So when other people, sorry.
No, I was gonna say. So we had a podcast a long time ago where we were talking about kind of the impact to dating for widows and widowers and stuff like that, and the impact that it really had on the relationship. And sometimes something like that, where you had a man or you had a woman and she was gone too young, too fast. Fantastic relationship. And that person became the standard, you know what I'm saying? And every dude or chick that that came across,
they're chasing a ghost.
Yeah, it's now the litmus test, and it's impeding their happiness over a long period of time.
Yeah.
So, and there were people that would say, okay, it really helped me, because I had a widower reach out and said it really helped us that we had that conversation, and because she wanted to know, like, if she was kind of going crazy in regards to it, because she was having so much difficulty having a successful relationship, realizing that this is an issue.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, I'm not the best consoler. I know that already about myself.
That's the Leo in us.
Yeah.
It's like
that's why no one ever calls you when they're ready to hurt. Yeah.
No, and sometimes, sometimes
I find that I struggle with it too.
Say it again.
No, I find that I struggle with it too, because what happens is I do to you what I would want done to me.
Yes.
So what happens is you're sad, and this is a specific example. You're sad. You lost a parent, and I think sticking my dick in you is gonna make you feel better. You know what I mean? And that's very insensitive of me. But if I lost a parent, I lost my grandparent, I want someone to sit on my dick and like make my pain go away. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
No, that's an interesting perspective. I have a different one.
Yeah.
Mine is more because I'm an optimist, and I'm a push througher, right? So
me too.
like for me, if I'm going through something hard, what I don't want is like, I feel bad for you. Yeah, it's gonna be okay. Just you gotta cry it out. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm not calling you.
Me neither.
Right? I need you to be like, yo, this shit sucks. But guess what happened tomorrow? God willing, you're gonna open your eyes, and you got
go shine tomorrow, bro.
You got shit to do. So we gonna be here for you. We're gonna support you, but you got to get through this shit. And the sooner you can get through it, the better it's gonna be for you. And so I'm that way for people. But a lot of people want that "what was me" shit, and I'm not good at that.
Help
at all.
them to stay sad. Help them to cry. Me either. You called the wrong one. And I also like to say, this may be off subject, but I'm not the right one to call. Like, when you just want to vent, I'm gonna fix your problem, ho.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to call somebody to vent, call your mama, because if you call me, nigga, I'm gonna fix. I got 3 solutions, bitch. We gonna get this
always.
Right. So if you come to me talking about, I don't want you to fix it. I just want you to listen. You called the wrong nigga, because we fix problems over here. We don't sit there and think into it. You know what I mean?
Call your homegirl, just not Cutty. The other homegirl.
Fact, not Cutty. Cutty she gonna let you down. All right, so we got to end with this one, and I saved the best for last. When your physical needs are vastly different, if you have different sex drives, can love get you past these type of situations? Do you feel like you should have to compromise your sexual desires for the sake of love?
Let's go with Cutty first.
And Cutty, before you answer, I want you to answer this, but I want to set the stage.
Okay.
Are we talking about frequency, or are we talking about willingness to try new things? Meaning, you want to have sex 5 times a week, and your girl want to have sex 2 or 3 times a week. But when y'all have sex, she willing to do what you want to do.
I'd say we can look at it from both views, but we can definitely talk about frequency, because that seems to be more common.
Okay. So I am really lazy.
Boy, you said that twice now, Cutty.
Damn.
You said that twice now.
No. Okay, in all honesty, it's like this. If you keep me stimulated mentally, I will have probably a higher sex drive, and I'll be more enthusiastic and encouraged to like want to do it all the time. But if I'm in a situation where And this is, you know, and I'm only thinking about like the past because this has happened in real life, but a lot of the reason why I didn't want to do it was because of the cheating, right? I always felt like, well, you fucking all these bitches, then what the fuck I gotta fuck you for, right? So, but then
I'd argue that's why I'm fucking all these bitches, but go ahead.
Yeah, so it's the chicken and the egg
first.
situation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Cart before the horse.
But like, so now, like, if it was now, I would try my hardest to be as like what's the word? Like
accommodating, maybe.
Yes,
a good wife, a good girl.
You know, let me
your sex drive, but I do have boundaries on what I would do. Like
boundaries.
Hold on, let me hear it.
Let me hear
what are
these
those?
The reason why, whatever that is, like, I'm not doing anything I don't want to do because it never got anybody nowhere.
What don't you want? What don't you want to do, Cutty?
Dig up your ass. You can say it here. It's a safe space. Dig up your ass.
I don't want to get peed on. I don't want to peg you. I don't want to, you know, have. If I don't
asking.
Yeah, that's
real.
new.
It's real.
That's new.
No, it's real.
A lot of chicks were saying that.
Yeah,
to me.
it's real. I've been hearing.
What?
He's a black man.
Yeah.
I don't do it, so I don't care.
And then there are a lot of women just eating ass in general, it seems, and it's putting a lot of pressure on you. And let me tell you, I understand because all the niggas eating ass, it's put a severe amount of pressure on me, and I don't appreciate it.
You gotta lick the tank.
Like I don't want to put my fingers in your like look at my nails. Like I don't want to put my fingers in your ass.
Well, he might like that, given the
no. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't.
Are niggas asking for this?
Huh?
Yeah.
Niggas are asking for this
to be pegged.
I've had people tell me that they were into it, but nobody actually asked.
That was asking.
Yeah, that was asking for. That was. We call that an indirect request.
That's the cowardly way of asking.
Yeah.
Well,
you softballed it.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
That's a good one.
Well, in the more recent time, I haven't had like a black man ask for that. I've had white men tell me that. But
we know.
Yeah,
we know.
But I also, you know, so I'm just.
That's why I asked the race.
People say things like, "Oh, you know, if you don't suck dick, you're gonna get cheated on." I'm like, I've been sucking dick and I was getting cheated on, so I don't have to.
This
like,
is true
I
as
don't
well.
care.
both sides can be true.
Both things can be true.
Sucking dick is a baseline requirement, though.
Especially to me.
Sucking dick's kind of a baseline requirement.
If you don't suck dick, don't even ask me what my name is. Don't even don't introduce yourself.
Do it.
Yeah.
But I'm just not doing it more than I want to do it.
Let me ask you this though. It sounds like you're saying your sex drive is determined based on how much effort and work that your man is putting in.
Like
I lived a whole life like that.
That's a lot of pressure on him because what happens is when a nigga tired, now he doesn't get the sex he wants because he doesn't have the energy to wine and dine you and stimulating conversation. Sometimes we don't have shit to say on a Tuesday at 10 p.m. I just want you to roll over and let me fuck you. So it can't always be this whole, you know what I mean?
Sex for me is like a reward system, right? I don't.
Shit.
I
can't
do
be together.
Not have this
Fucking
conversation.
reward.
What's a lot of guys don't know this.
Is good dick a reward to you?
It's been real, y'all.
I don't.
For real? I gotta go. Right? Is good dick a reward to you?
I don't really care about dick.
All right. Let me ask you another question. Hold on, before you go to anyone.
It's like
do you come off of penetration?
Yes, absolutely.
So you've had very good dick in your life where a nigga's made you come multiple times.
Dick.
And yet you would say good dick is not a reward to you.
I still only want it if it comes along with other stuff. I don't want it just for dick.
Which is fair.
And that's fair, obviously, but we're speaking specifically about sex. Let's assume everything else is good.
Like because for me, sex is so mental, right? So if you're not doing anything else, like you got to be doing stuff for me to like you. For me to like you, you got to be doing stuff for me to want to have sex with you.
Oof. Listen, all I know that
sorry for you.
I've been on the other
that nigga
side.
working hard.
Hold on, I've been on the other side.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I've been on the other side where
Ain't no prize.
sex was a reward system of a sort.
It doesn't work for a man.
And it doesn't work. And now, I want a woman that will fuck through everything. Fuck through problems.
Yeah.
Fuck through if she got a headache. Fuck through any situation.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want.
You can't offer sex as a woman, dog, keep it real. You can't offer sex as a prize when it's so easy to get for
exactly.
free.
You're playing a dangerous game.
There's no longer a premium on your box.
Pussy doesn't hold the same value that it did a century ago. You know, at this point.
But guess what? You're the one who cares. I don't. So that's why I don't care.
So then why are we together?
Yeah.
Why are we together, Cutty? You don't want to fuck me.
I'm just saying.
You don't care if I'm fucking somebody else. What we doing here?
See, but sex is such a priority. Like, we care.
But if you know it's a priority to a man, how can you not prioritize it but yet want the man?
No. I'm saying it like this. You have your priority. I have my priority. We're going to do it in tandem. You do what you're going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. What you want. You do what I want. I'm going to do what you want.
Should you not prioritize his needs and desires? Should his priority...
It's in tandem.
Let's go to next. Is there any other question?
Yeah, Cutty a Leo, man. Listen,
you can't change a Leo's mind.
I know you can't. We know.
We got a case study right here.
If he drops the ball to any degree, I'm closing my legs, period.
Only balls he dropping is his own because you're not doing what you need to do, Cutty.
Facts.
And guess what? That's fine for me because
you need the right type of nigga. You deal with a nigga like me. We can play this game all day. We can take it there if you want to.
That I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, I won't. So when well, you might not know this, but I know what closed legs look like, and I definitely know what open ones look like. Right. I'm headed to where they're open. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Whatever I want as well.
Oh my gosh.
You never have to worry
I choke
about
bitches like you while I'm fucking them, just so you know. The power struggle, when I get in it, bro, I got to check them. Okay, so let me ask you this. What if your partner loses the ability to please you sexually? Maybe an accident, maybe, you know what I mean, something health-wise. Can you get through this love-wise?
You got to, so first of all, whoever the person is, you got to let the other person for other people. Yeah. That's the first thing.
You have to?
Got to. Let me say, I just gave you
have to what?
You gotta let them fuck somebody else. I'm gonna give you an example. I was just watching this thing on like Vice TV about this woman. She was married to this guy. They got like 5 kids together. This dude developed MS, and MS eats away at your brain.
Correct.
So it's diminished his mental capacity. So right now, like, he lives in assisted facilities. He has the mental capacity of a 13, 14-year-old. So she said, my relationship with my husband has changed. It's more like a caretaker, caregiver, mom, child. So she basically said, I no longer look at him as a man that I'm in love with. I look at him as another person in my life, a child that I have love for and that I love and I would die for. But that's gone because he doesn't have the mental capacity to be the type of man she wants. Yeah. So now she's taking care of 5 kids who are normal, right? And then then her husband, and she's just not supposed to fuck nobody. Yeah. That's not nice.
I actually know a situation like that as well. My daughter's friend, and I know the mom's pussy ain't getting touched.
There's something wrong with the husband?
Oh the husband, he's been, paraplegic for over a decade.
Oh, so she ain't getting nothing.
She pussy just look like it's aging.
How the mom be acting?
She just seems tense and
that's
it's just tense and like agitated. You just say hello. Yes, it's like, God, relax. Like she just sometimes you just need a nut. Sometimes you can see it in their eyes.
How she look?
Not how she look. This ain't the time.
Yeah, back in the days,
I was just curious. She had let herself go because she knew it
didn't matter anyway. She to some degree, she has definitely. I mean, if you don't have a reason to keep up, I mean, it's women who got a reason to and don't. So imagine giving her no reason.
Don't give them the truth.
Know what I mean? Imagine if not giving them no reason. You know what I mean? But just to wrap things up, love is a beautiful thing, man. But love is a choice, and because it's a choice, it's not going to be enough to work through things that just don't fit. And I don't know that all the time. Some of these things we mentioned, you can see coming early, but I think a lot of these things we talked about also are realizations that are made after being in a relationship with someone for a while. And even though you love them, that doesn't mean you should stay.
Yeah. Love is never enough for me.
Yeah, we know, Cutty. We know.
What was that song, Love is Blind?
Yeah.
Nah, that motherfucker got 2020.
2020 over here.
See everything.
2020.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I agree. I don't think love is going to be enough in any way, shape, or form. I think effort and outcome are enough, right?
Consistency.
And I don't even think we touched on consistency.
We didn't, but without it, nothing
But
exists.
that's like the golden rule of relationships for me.
Yeah.
With consistency, boy, anything is possible.
Yeah.
You can almost accomplish anything if we really think about it with consistency. So, but love ain't enough.
Hey, so Cutty, we appreciate you so much for taking the time to come sit down with us and talk. I mean, you didn't disappoint. I'm gonna tell you right now. Very fire conversation. So I'm excited to read your book. If you want to tell the people where they can find you or any projects you have coming up that you want to be aware of, that'd be great.
Thank you. My Instagram and Twitter is passport_Cutty. I'm also on TikTok. I do a lot of Zodiac stuff on there. My first book is The M Man is for Money. Everything is on Amazon. The most recent book is Mending Me. It's a self-help book. That's gender neutral. It's for both sexes, not just women. And there's a workbook book as well to help you on your journey. It's an unfiltered guide to fixing yourself, because you guys were mentioning growth a lot, and that's really what that book is about. So I
mean, a lot of exciting projects, and the fact that I'm assuming self-funded author, doing your thing, making it work. That's impressive, man. So, but Brunch with the Boys, you can find us everywhere: YouTube presence, all podcast platforms, all social media platforms. Hey, we appreciate you taking some time.
I got one question real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Cutty, you be traveling? Where you be going?
Yeah.
Where you be going? What's your favorite place?
To go to often, or like that I've been so far.
Question,
Sorry.
Just whatever comes to your mind. Whatever comes to your mind.
I travel all the time. I go
wherever your nigga takes you. That's her answer. Wherever he'll pay for.
I love the Caribbean. I go to Europe every summer. Rome is probably my favorite trip. And
after he takes you there, is he guaranteed the pussy because of the trip?
I don't travel with men as often as I would like.
She don't even like men. She didn't told us that.
Yeah.
Well, I never said that.
She never said that. She did.
I mean, like, for the most part, you don't like. You fuck with us. Yeah. You don't really fuck with us, though. You fuck with us, but
boy, nigga got to work hard
us.
on a date with Cutty, boy. Boy, nigga got to. He got the tap dance and shit.
Better take a fucking nap.
Come on.
Go on a date.
Funny that you say that, because I'm actually super, super down to earth. Like, while everybody else is like, oh, don't go on coffee dates. I'm like, why? I'm showing up in leggings and seeing.
I hate people saying stupid stuff like that. Coffee dates.
Yeah, like I'm so comfortable in my own skin and just comfortable with myself. It's like I'm so chill that you don't really need to do as much as you think. I mean, not the first date anyway.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again.
We're going to keep working on you, Cutty.
Producer, give it us the outro, man. Give us the outros.
Yeah. You're going to start giving that pussy up easier. That's what you're going
to do. We fuck with you, Cutty. Holla.
Yeah. Coffee and brunch. We can have our conversations over coffee and brunch. Ha.